You are listening to the Rewards Canada podcast.
You are listening to the Rewards Canada
podcast.
Hello, and welcome to episode 78 of the Rewards Canada podcast, where we are going to take a look at some of the new hotels opening up this year in Canada. This episode of the Rewards Canada podcast is brought to you by the HSBC World Elite MasterCard. Right now, until April 19th, 2021, you can earn up to 40,000 points and pay no annual fee in the first year when you apply for and are approved for the card. Visit rewardscanada.ca/podcast for more details. Now that spring of 2021 is upon us and the snow is melting away in many parts of the country, a lot of us Canadians are looking to escape from their homes, but with the current travel restrictions in place, that means many of those escapes will be in our own backyards. It will mean staycations, road trips, or a quick flight to a neighboring province, and for most of us that escape has to include staying in a hotel. Not just day trips where you're leaving in the morning and coming back, even though those are fun and we'll be doing those as well, but a lot of us want to get away and not stay at home because we've been staying at home for a long time now. So why not escape to somewhere new? That is a new hotel, and that's what this episode will dive into. If you read the Rewards Canada blog or the site regularly, you'll know that at the start of each year, we research and write about new hotels that are opening up here in Canada. We look at the major chain hotels that are connected to the hotel frequent guest programs that we all work hard at to earn and burn our points with. So far in 2021, we have covered new hotel details from 4 of the major chains on the Rewards Canada blog: Marriott, IHG, Hyatt, and Hilton. And now here in the podcast, we'll look at some of the exciting locations these chains will be opening up. Between the 4 of them, we're going to see 29 new properties from coast to coast. With that covered, let's take a look at some of those new hotels that you'll be able to stay at during this restricted year, and that we're going to see a lot more Canadians staying within Canada for their travels. So this is perfect timing to look at these new locations. If you want to try somewhere fresh and new, check some of these out. I'll go in order of when I posted these onto Rewards Canada blog. So that means we'll start with Marriott hotels. Marriott is tied with Hilton this year for being the 2 chains that will open the most hotels in Canada. There will be 9 new Marriott hotels which will bring their nationwide total close to 270 properties. These new locations span the country from Salmon Arm in BC to the East Coast in Halifax, Nova Scotia. BC in fact gets 2 new locations this year. Alberta will see 1. There'll be 3 new hotels in Ontario, 2 in Quebec, and the aforementioned Nova Scotia location for 9 in total. While all new locations are going to be great to stay at, I mean, there's nothing like staying at a fresh new hotel, there are 4 that really stuck out to us here at Rewards Canada. The first and by far most notable is the W Toronto. This location was set to open in 2020, but a construction slowdown due to the pandemic set it back to this year. The W Toronto will have 255 rooms on 9 floors and is located in the Yorkville neighborhood. Last time we checked, it doesn't look like it's now going to open in July as originally planned, as we said in the blog post, but now it looks like they're hoping for an August 1st opening. The hotel is going to open as a Category 6 hotel in the Marriott Bonvoy program, which means you'll need 50,000 points per night at the standard level, 40,000 off-peak, or 60,000 for peak. This unfortunately means it will be out of reach for that coveted annual free night award that comes with the Marriott Bonvoy American Express card. However, the welcome bonus on that card is 50,000 points, so that could be utilized for 1 night at this new location. We checked, and there's availability throughout August, September, October. Pretty much every night is pricing out at a standard award night, which is 50,000 points. The next highly anticipated opening for Marriott is the Humaniti Hotel Montreal. This is part of their Autograph Collection, and right now that hotel is set to open in June. Just like the W Toronto, this hotel will be a Marriott Bonvoy Category 6 property, which is putting it out of reach for that annual free night, unless you can find an off-peak point savers right then. You might luck out and be able to use your certificate there. The hotel is being touted as a city within a building and is the first vertical smart community in Montreal. I believe there's also going to be condos and other things in the building, not just a hotel, because there's going to be 2 towers. It's amazing design designed by New York architect Andres Escobar. It's going to be considered a 4.5-star hotel that encompasses 11 floors of the building. It's going to have king rooms, two rooms with two queens, and some amazing king suites, actually. Then you have the City of Halifax. It's not going to be outdone by Toronto, Montreal, as they're also getting an autograph collection hotel this year. It's going to be situated right on Halifax's waterfront in the Queen's Mark neighborhood, and it's called the Muir. Muir is being described as refined and distinctly Nova Scotian luxury. Muir will offer a new hospitality experience expressing the essence of Nova Scotia through inspired design, exceptional amenities, and warm, gracious service. I mean, if we know what people from the East Coast are like, they are warm, they're gracious, so you're going to experience that impeccable service, as they say, amazing amenities, and really the hotel is being told to us that it's going to be inspired by the spirit, the character, culture, and the beauty and bounty of Nova Scotia. Finally, in Marriott hotels as well, there's another exciting new build. It's called the Pearl Hotel and Spa, and it's in Burlington, Ontario. And again, another autograph collection hotel. This hotel is named after the company founder's grandmother, and it's right on the shores of Lake Ontario. And from the renderings and details on the hotel, it looks like a pretty amazing hotel. It's going to have a restaurant named Isabel, so we're wondering if there's a relation there as well, because it's named after Pearl. Maybe Isabel was another family member. It's going to have a lot of ingredients sourced from their own farm. Like this hotel has their own farm to the table in the hotel. It has a spa, which will feature a traditional hammam sauna, private massage rooms, and a relaxation pool. The hotel, if people in Ontario or people who've traveled to Ontario should know, it's owned by the same hospitality company that owns and runs the famous Allura Mill Hotel and Spa. If you've watched Top Chef Canada, you would have seen that hotel featured on there. The Pearl right now is set to open late May, early June, and the really good news is that it's a Category 4 hotel, so you can use your annual free night award from the Marriott Bonvoy American Express card here. We did some searching, and we also saw some off-peak award nights in June that run only 20,000 points per night at this new location, so be sure to check it out. Now we're going to take a quick break, and let's thank our sponsor for this episode of the Rewards Canada podcast, the HSBC World Elite MasterCard. Ranked in the top 5 travel rewards cards in Canada, this card offers no foreign transaction fees, an annual $100 travel enhancement credit, points that you can redeem for any travel that you book yourself, the option to convert points to 3 amazing airline partners, and much more. Plus, you can earn up to 40,000 points and enjoy no annual fee in the first year. You'll find all the details about this card and a link to apply for it at rewardscanada.ca/podcast. Next up, in the new hotel categories, which we covered on our blog, are IHG Hotels and Resorts. They were formerly known as Intercontinental Hotels Group. For some listeners, this may not ring a bell until we say Holiday Inn or Holiday Inn Express, as there aren't actually any IHG hotels. The closest is Intercontinental Hotels and Resorts, which is the luxury brand for IHG, but most of us are familiar with Holiday Inn, Crown Plaza, Staybridge Suites, and the other brands that make up IHG Hotels and Resorts. The chain is planning on opening 5 locations in Canada this year, which is down from the dozen or so they opened in 2020. We'll see 4 Holiday Inn Express and Suites open up in Ontario, Alberta, and BC, plus the one higher up hotel is an actual Holiday Inn in Gatineau, Quebec. It is this last hotel that we place at the top of the list, since it is technically the highest end hotel IHG will open up this year. We don't know too much about it yet, as it will be opening up late in the fourth quarter this year. I'm guessing after opening up so many locations last year among the pandemic, we're seeing a slowdown from IHG, but we can't wait for 2022, as that will see the first Avid hotel from IHG opening up here in Canada, and that location is going to be in Vaughan, Ontario. The third hotel chain we covered with new hotel openings in Canada is Hyatt Hotels, who out of all the big chains we cover have the smallest presence in Canada, well actually globally and in Canada, but that is changing fairly quickly. Hyatt is really expanding their reach in Canada, globally, you name it. They just celebrated the opening of their 1,000th hotel, which was in Napa Valley, and they keep growing quite a bit. I think they're looking to probably grow their portfolio, if I remember correctly, by at least 20%, if not more, over the next couple of years. I remember that was only a few years ago when Hyatt only had 4 locations here in Canada. When we record this podcast, they're now up to 12 locations, with 6 more coming this year alone to bring them to 18 locations. So 18 may not seem like a lot, but percentage-wise, that's a lot of growth, and it's going to continue to grow over the next few years. It may not seem significant, but the World of Hyatt program is really one to watch. It's very popular. There's a lot of good benefits, a lot of good value in it. I mean, if you listen to episode 75, which we recorded earlier this year with Anshul Singh from Points, Miles, and Bling, you'll know why. It's one program to watch, and the more hotels we have here, the better it is, because World of Hyatt's becoming more popular with Canadians, so it's only fitting that we get more of their hotels. Like Marriott, the most anticipated hotel opening for Hyatt was actually supposed to happen in 2020, but that was pushed back to this year. And technically, it's not a new hotel. It's the reopening of one location that was shut down for a complete remodel, and that's the Park Hyatt Toronto. If you're familiar with Hyatt hotels, you'll know that Park Hyatt is their ultra-luxury high-end brand, so you can expect high-end service and quality from this location when it reopens late this summer. It looks like that's been pushed back as well. We originally reported that's going to be late spring. Now it's looking like late summer. We don't have an exact date yet. Hopefully we'll find that out soon. Before this hotel shut down, surprisingly, it was only a Category 4 hotel in the World of Hyatt program. And right now, Hyatt's still listed as a Category 4. So our fingers are crossed that won't change when this hotel opens up. That means you would only need 15,000 points for a standard night award. Part of me's thinking it's probably going to be bumped up, but fingers crossed it stays at Category 4. And there are 2 other significant Hyatt additions coming this year out of the 6 hotels that they're adding to their portfolio here. And we say additions because, again, these are existing hotels, kind of like the Park Hyatt. And what these are existing boutique hotels that are joining the Hyatt family. Both of these hotels will become JDV by Hyatt, with JDV being Joie de Vivre, a small but mighty boutique chain out of the US. The 2 hotels are the Andor House in Toronto and the nearly 130-year-old Walper Hotel in Kitchener. Looking at the Walper's website, you wouldn't guess that this hotel was that old on how amazing the rooms look. And on the other end of the spectrum, the Andor House offers a more contemporary feeling. So those are some really interesting additions to Hyatt, and we're glad to see that they are expanding so much here in Canada. Finally, the last chain that we covered so far this year on Rewards Canada is Hilton. As mentioned earlier, they are tied with Marriott for having the most openings this year with 9 new hotels. And that doesn't even count 2 locations that they've already opened, well, technically have reopened, and we'll touch upon that shortly. Hilton is probably the chain that most closely rivals Marriott in terms of number of properties worldwide and for popularity of their loyalty program. In Canada, they're a bit behind in locations when compared to Marriott or IHG, but their presence is still significant with over 150 locations coast to coast. Of the 9 hotels opening this year, more than 50% are in just 2 cities. Well, actually, almost 50% is just 1 city, and that is Montreal. Montreal themselves are going to see 4 new locations open up this year. Then Calgary's going to have 2, and then there's 1 in Bradford, 1 in Toronto, and 1 in Waterloo. Out of those, we would say the most anticipated is the Westley Calgary Downtown. It's a Tapestry Collection hotel, and it's going to be the second Tapestry Collection hotel in Canada. The first one is Canvas in Moncton, which is just a little over a year now. If you're unfamiliar with Tapestry Collection, those hotels are upscale independent or boutique hotels that become part of the Hilton family. These 2 are both new builds, so this is a great thing. The Westley, they, from what we know, promises to, what they tell us, they promise to the expected at their location, of which is going to have 104 rooms, a fitness center, all-purpose lounge, and more. It's even going to have a Cal Mexican cuisine restaurant called Fonda Fora. So we're kind of looking forward to that, especially for us here at Rewards Canada, since that's in our hometown. And this may actually be the first of the new hotels that we'll be able to stay at, because it's slated to open sometime in June. So if things work out, be sure to watch out for a review of this hotel, as we're going to try and stay at it hopefully shortly after it opens up. Also highly anticipated this year is a dual-branded Hampton Inn by Hilton in Montreal, it's called Hampton Inn by Hilton Montreal Downtown, and the Homewood Suites by Hilton Montreal Downtown. So this is a one of those dual properties with one building type thing, or two buildings connected in the middle. This property is two hotels. It's located near Old Montreal, the Montreal Convention Center, and Chinatown. And one of the noticeable features will be a rooftop terrace with a seasonal plunge pool. And now, as mentioned before, we said there was two other hotels from Hilton that already opened up this year. One is the Hilton Vancouver Downtown, which many of our readers will actually be familiar with because it used to be the Westin Grand Vancouver. It was only announced, I think this past November or so, that it was changing from Marriott to Hilton, and it switched over to Hilton, I think sometime early in January. The good thing is, if you're looking to stay at this hotel from April 1st to September 30th, you can actually earn 1,000 bonus honors points per night in the Hilton Honors program to celebrate the opening. On the redemption side, Hilton no longer publishes categories, but a few searches we made at this hotel since it's open and operating, because a lot of the other Hilton ones we weren't able to see what they're pricing out for points because they don't have it yet. But the Hilton Vancouver Downtown, NE Westin Grand Vancouver, starts at around 33,000 Hilton Honors points per night. And the other hotel that has already opened, actually will reopen on New Year's Day, is the Hilton Quebec. It's a pretty iconic hotel there. It underwent a $70 million renovation, whose new rooms have a modern, elegant, and warm look with breathtaking views. So there you have it. That's a look at some of the exciting new hotels that are set to open up in Canada this year from the four major hotel chains. And based on Rewards Canada's traffic numbers, these are definitely the four most popular, it seems like, in Canada, or at least on our website, based on the searches and what people are looking for. But hopefully it doesn't end there on our site. We're still awaiting response from some other hotel chains, but we should note that we did reach out to Radisson Hotels, and they let us know that they're not opening any new locations in Canada this year. They did have the big opening of the first Radisson Blu Hotel in Canada last fall in Toronto, so I guess you could still consider that a new hotel. And that's all she wrote for this episode of the Rewards Canada podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to hit the like button on whatever platforms you're listening, subscribe buttons, you name it. The more people we get listening and liking these things, the more it gets out there will mean the more podcasts we can bring you in the future. And if you want to learn more about the hotels mentioned in this podcast, see some pictures, or learn about the other hotels that are opening up this year from these four hotel chains, be sure to check out our podcast page at rewardscanada.ca/podcast, where we'll have links to all the blog posts that cover all these hotels. Thanks again, and talk to you next time. The Rewards Canada podcast is produced in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, with music produced by Regina's own TWKOP.